You will need vegetable oil, sugar, salt, yeast, bread flour or regular flour, measuring cups, bowl, mixer ideally, thermometer. First thing we need to do is preheat the stove at 350. Once it reaches that temperature, we're turning it off and we're going to leave it be. Maybe even open the door to let some of the extra heat go away. Step is going to be to let rest in a bowl some yeast, some hot water to activate the yeast. We're also going to need sugar because the yeast is going to feed on it. First thing we need is 1 cup of warm water that we're going to try to have at 115 degrees Fahrenheit. To which we're going to add 1/4 cup of white sugar. Oops. Until we dissolve. So for that 1/4 cup of hot water, we're going to use 2.5 teaspoons of active yeast. Oh, 1. 2. Gently, so it doesn't splash all around the container itself, but so that they get wet. And the reason why I use a chopstick is because only a little bit gets stick to the chopstick. If I use a bigger thingy, then more of the yeast gets taken away. So we let this rest for about 10 minutes until it completely activates. We'll show you. Now you see, the yeast has foamed. It is ready. Now we've turned the oven off. We're letting the heat go away. We just want a very warm and dry place. Now we're gonna take 3/4 teaspoons of salt. Now this time I'm gonna use that salt. We'll see how it goes. We're gonna mix it. Then we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. That being 1. And that being 2. Now because we use the kosher salt, the big grain, we're gonna mix a little bit more, just to be sure that it dissolves. And a bit of flour. So for this quantity of water, we're gonna use 3 cups of flour. It could be regular flour. This time I'm using the bread flour. It could also be regular salt. Usually I'm using regular salt. So we'll come back after 3 cups of this. And this is 2 cups. 1. Okay, here I started with 2 cups of flour. I'm gonna gradually add my 3rd cup. It doesn't need to be all at once because I don't want to over flour it. So after 3 cups of flour, I see that we need a little bit more because it's still sticking too much at the bottom of my bowl. So I'm gonna add a little bit of
flour. I'm Chef Cassius. You wanna see my car? Chef Cassius. Bye.
It's not sticking at the bottom. 10 minutes like that. Vegetable oil.
Sprit, sprit, sprit.
On which we're gonna put a wet towel and let rest for 1 hour in the oven. That has cooled down a lot.
Is the oven on?
No, it's set for 1 hour. 1 hour later, it should have doubled in size. That's way more than doubled. Awesome. So we want to punch it. Remove the air.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh wow, super sticky this one. Then cut it in two. Then I want to sort of like back. The flour is just so that it doesn't stick. So maybe my hands were wet.
And this is parchment paper?
Yeah. So maybe I could have used a little bit more flour. Proof number 2. What? We're gonna put back here and wait another 45 minutes to 1 hour. We want it to rise a lot. So this, and we're resting them with hot water in the microwave with the door closed.
Okay.
350. We're gonna put the bread in the oven. We just put this in the microwave, so it's another dry, closed space. See you guys in 30 minutes. It's been in for 25 minutes, 24, but it looks kind of done. So let's take one out and see what's the temperature inside.
Do you want to eat the bread?
No.